I'm Keith Jackson along with Frank Broyles. And Frank, I said at the very beginning of the program, we have here an ultimate contrast in offensive philosophy.
Well, Keith, it is a very interesting matchup because it shows the versatility of the college coaching game. Ohio State, with a strong physical football team, depends heavily on the run. They believe that they'd like to run every down if possible and throw only if necessary. And on the other hand, Stanford has more of a finesse football team, plus probably the premier college pass of all time in John Elway. So they have little hopes of running the football, and therefore they lean heavily upon the forward pass.
How do you defend a fellow like an Elway?
Well, Keith, I think that you have to start with using up to 7 backs so that you can avoid the mismatch between a speedy receiver and a slower defensive linebacker. And in addition to this, I think that Ohio State has got to use their offense for ball possession. Time of possession will be very important as who wins this football game.
So we go with the series 2-2. Stanford beating Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. Had a good ball game last year out at Stanford. The Cardinal came late. Buckeyes had a big early lead. Stanford came storming back and wound up losing by 5. The officials for today's game, Glenn Fortin is the referee. Dave Brazel, the umpire. Head linesman Rich Weiler. Line judge Larry Thompson. Chuck Weigel, the field judge. And Richard Schnell is the back judge. And Stanford will receive the football. So we're going to be looking at Kenny Williams going back there in the receiving position. He is number 9. Ken is a freshman out of San Jose. Eric Mullins will go back with him. Mike Darterer has been doing some of the kick returning at Stanford during his career, but he's banged up a little bit. And the fellow they want to carry the ball is Ken Williams. He had a 47-yard shot at it last week. He's very exciting, and believe it or not, he's a professional baseball player, signed a substantial bonus with the White Sox and played in the instructional league last summer. Rich Spangler, another freshman, is involved in the kickoff. This young man from Ohio State, just 18 years of age, big, strong kicker who can really nail it. So let's see whether or not he gives Ken Williams a chance to bring it back for Stanford. The game is on, and it's well into the end zone. He's going to come with it. He's got a hole. He's out to the 20. So the hole opened for just a moment, and then it closed at the 20 with John Elway opening at quarterback. John stands 6'4". Benson White, on the other hand, stands only 5'8". At tailback, Greg Hooper, the fullback, a 200-pounder out of Sunnyvale. And the wide receivers are Emil Harry, a 6-footer out of Fountain Valley, and Mike Tolliver, the flanker. He is a 6-foot senior from Lancaster, California. So here's your first play of the ball game. Ball just outside the 20. They split their backs. And the first play is a pass. Elway swings it out to White. White's got a little room. 25, 27. And he goes out of bounds as Doyle Lewis, a cornerback, comes up to get him. The offensive front for the Cardinal, Jeff Deaton is a 265-pound tackle. Matt Moran is a 245-pound guard. Mike Tevis, the center, 250 pounds. Dennis Engel, a guard, 255. Chris Rose, a tackle, at 260. And the tight end, Chris Dressel, 6'4", 235. It's second down and 3 for Stanford at their own 27. That's White in motion. Second play is also a pass. He hums it over the middle, and it is batted away. Slapped down at the line of scrimmage, big number 55 got his mitts up there. Jerome Foster, a 258-pound defensive tackle. So it will be third down and 3, and here's another look at the play.
Foster was first-team all-conference as a sophomore, but watch him get his hands up. One of the levels of applying pressure against the forward passer like Elway is get your hands up and deflect them. That's just as good as the defensive back knocking down, quite obviously.
It's a good thing, too, because he had Tolliver in the crease. Open, third down and 3. Send the fullback Hooper in motion this time. And give it off inside to White. White finds a hole, finds daylight, and breaks it across the 40. Fine run by Vincent White, who stands, as we told you, 5'8", but he weighs 190 pounds. He is a senior out of Denver.
When we watch it from the end zone, Matt Moran, number 61, the left guard, is pulling in trap. And look at the hole right up the middle. As you can expect, the Ohio State team was trying to rush the passer. White, number 22, been a substitute for 3 years for Darren Nelson. Now coming into his own, just a fine football player.
First down, Stanford. Ball at their own 43. Mike Dotterer now is in the backfield. And Ken Williams is in the backfield. He goes in motion. A roll by Elway. Looks to the sidelines. Got to get rid of it. He goes out there for Williams, and the pass is overthrown. And I think John unloaded that as much as anything else. That was good coverage by Ohio State. The defensive unit, Foster, Nelms, Morrill, Lowry, Curtis, Cobb, Merrick. Cobb and Merrick particularly active at the inside linebacking positions. The defensive secondary, Garcia Lane, Doyle Lewis, Doug Hill, and Kelvin Bell.
And Keith, we might mention that the 3 extra defensive backs are in the ball game. 4 linemen, 1 linebacker, and 7 defensive backs. 3 linemen, excuse me.
Second down and 10. So they're going to 7 defensive backs in the ball game against the passing of Elway. Buckeyes may have jumped. I don't know if a Stanford man moved. I didn't see it. So we'll see whether or not they were enticed or whether they were trying to anticipate. It's against Stanford. Somebody moved along the offensive front.
The first 3 snaps, John Elway has gone up and snapped the ball on the first sound. He changed to the 3rd sound. His lineman couldn't wait. As we look at Stanford's passing offense, 375 yards per game, in the comparison to Ohio State, 83 yards.
We have
per
illegal
game.
procedure on the offense. Still second down.
And 15 as the ball is moved back to the Stanford 38. Harry and Tolliver come to the same side. White is back in along with Hooper. In the backfield, they go shotgun. First time in the game, and they go early with it, don't they? They're going to show Ohio State the shotgun here in the first quarter. Elway has some good protection. He's got White. He hits him at the Ohio State 40, and the Stanford Cardinal have the ball first down at the Buckeye 37.
Keith, can I just comment? That's his cagier performance by White. He was going over the middle, and Elway, Foster, number 55, is going to put a little pressure on Elway from the right of your screen. The big all-conference tackle. He's just pushing back Rose, number 62. Now the key to this play is White breaking back to the outside on a planned call. Richardson, number 21, couldn't cover it.
So here's Stanford now, knocking on the door at the Ohio State 37. Elway back to throw it again. He's got Dressel over the middle. He's got another first down as he takes it to the Ohio State 14. Doug Hill made the tackle. Paul Wiggins, Stanford coach there. Only crew cut, I think, active in college football today.
And a great football coach. A little play-action pass. 36, the all-conference linebacker, Merrick, cannot cover Drexel man for man. You can see he takes the fake of the back coming up, and up high goes Drexel for the pass reception. Finally, Hill, 27, makes the play.
It's just inside the 15. First down for Stanford. They're moving it. Pop it up the middle with Hooper, and Hooper is close to the 10. He got a little more than 4 on the carry.
As we look at John Wiggins, just an outstanding football coach. Really a man of dignity. Paul Wiggins, excuse me.
He sends in at fullback Rob Moore, bringing a play. Rob is a senior out of Santa Ana, replacing Hooper. So White and Moore line up in the setbacks position. And Elway to throw it. He has time. He gets it off to the corner. It is no good. Emil Harry was over there, and they call him out of bounds.
Let's look again and see if Harry, number 10, is in bounds when he catches the ball. Doyle Lewis, number 23, is playing him man for man. The ball is a little bit late. You can see Harry is open right now, but the ball doesn't get there until he gets close to the sideline. Now his feet are in bounds, but his knee is touching the, I believe his knee is touching the line.
Looks like he's on the chalk.
Yeah, official is right there on it.
It is third down, and they need about 6 for a first down. Ball is at the Ohio State 10. Elway rolling it. He goes to the short man. And it's not there. The gain is down to the 8. And coming out of the secondary, really the outside linebacker, Orlando Lowry, had dropped off to cover and made the stop on Hooper, the fullback. And so Stanford has to go to the kicking team now, as the ball is sitting at the Ohio State 8. Mark Harmon, a junior, is the kicker for the Cardinal. The T is sitting back at the 15. They're one man short, so Hooper, the fullback, has to come in. He hit a 46-yarder against San Jose State. I guess it was. Off the right hash mark, 25 yards, hooks it up. Missed it. Rob Moore, Vincent White, and Elway rolls it out. Goes over the middle. It is intercepted by Marcus Merrick. Elway underthrew his man. He was trying to go deep over the middle for Emil Harry, and Marcus Merrick, inside linebacker, dropped off in the short zone and intercepted it.
Marcus Merrick, number 46, all Big Ten as a sophomore and a junior and second teamer as a freshman. But as Keith has said, Elway underthrows his receiver on the rollout. And Merrick, number 46, is going to jump up and make a sensational interception right there. Just like a tight end, and catches the ball.
And Ohio State comes to the attack with Tim Spencer back in at tailback, and from the 40 he gets 3 down near the 37. Garin Veris, the tackle. This is the one thing that Stanford must avoid. They cannot leave the defense out there for too long a period of time because they're not that deep with their big people up front. Sun trying to break through the overcast clouds. We've had light rain for 2 days in Columbus coming into the ball game, but the weather conditions as they are now are most comfortable. Williams is the wide man, and Tomczak going to throw it on second down. He goes over the middle. He hits his man. He drilled the short man, Cedric Anderson, number 22. And Ohio State has a first down. So the Buckeyes throw it on second down. At the long count, goes outside to Spencer. He's got all kinds of open space. And he is finally wrestled out of bounds by Baird, but not until he has danced his way to the Stanford 16.
The option play can really hurt a defense when they're in man-for-man. The cornerback on the left side, Baird didn't know it was option play, was playing pass, no support, a good game for Ohio State.
And another first down for the Buckeyes, so the Stanford defense now being put to the wall by the interception of Elway. It's Gary Williams in motion. Comes outside, ball almost got loose from Spencer, and he's going to lose yardage. The pitch was a very quick, hard pitch to him, and Tim never really got control of it, and by the time he did start his turn upfield, Vaughn Williams, the junior out of Denver, free safety had him. So the loss is back to the 20.
Keith, what we're seeing is Tomczak, the quarterback, on most of his plays is coming all the way over to the sideline, and Coach Earl Bruce is telling him to play rather than signaling or substituting, something I've never seen before.
Well, it shortens up your time on the 25-second clock.
It does that.
He's going to throw it. He's got his man over the middle. Touch! No, didn't hold it. Didn't hold it. But Frank had it in his hands, and when he went down, he didn't control it. My goodness, he had him open, too. I talked to his dad last night, and he was so proud to be coming here to watch his son play, and I would imagine that his heart sank on that one because he was right there.
The ball is perfectly thrown down the middle, and Frank has excellent hands, but I think Williams, number 45, who made all Pac-10, is going to knock the ball loose. And
he never really had it. He sort of butterfingered it the whole time. So it is third down at about 14. Double wide now, top of the picture. Tomczak draw up the middle. He gets it back to the 14. And Gary Wimmer, senior out of Boise, Idaho, to make the tackle for Stanford. So now the Stanford defense tightens up a bit, and they force Ohio State into a field goal circumstance on fourth down. The ball just inside the Stanford 15. Rich Spangler 1 for 2 in 1982. And they're going to put the tee down very near the 22. So it'll be a 32-yard field goal try for Rich Spangler. Hits it straight away, and he's got it. So the Buckeyes capitalize on the interception and get 3 points to take the lead 3-0 with 4 minutes and 22 seconds to play in the first period. So now it's 3rd and 1. And they set him up out of the split backs and give it to Gale. And Gale surges on second effort and gets the first down. I thought for a moment the Cardinal might have him, but Foster, we're told, has a strained back. So he'll be back.
He's been talking to the Stanford coaches. Their defense had not been tested against the run. The other offenses were more flamboyant and didn't really run at them. This is their first time.
First down at the Stanford 36. Spencer is back at tailback for the Bucks.
37. Coming to him.
Fullback Broadnax stripped at the line of scrimmage, but falls ahead to the 34. He got 2 yards. Terry Jackson, the big sophomore from Washington, D.C., made the tackle for Stanford, and Jimmy Gale now goes back in at tailback, replacing Spencer.
Jackson, number 67, is not the prototype nose guard because he's 6'6", but he just jumps right over the center Craig Pack because of his height. Look at his arms, and he reaches out and makes the play.
Second down 8 from the Stanford 34.
Blue 25. Blue 25.
Gale. Oh, they had him cold dead at the line of scrimmage, and he got away. Great run by Jimmy Gale. First and goal to go, Ohio State.
Watch Gale. Long runs just happen. They aren't planned. They are the effort. Usually they're the effort of the ball carrier. As you can see, Gale is just hit for no gain by 3 Stanford players. But one of the Ohio State blockers keeps his feet working and opens up the little hole. And Gale makes a big run down to the 7-yard line, 8-yard line.
26 yards he ran after being stopped dead. He got loose. This is Spencer to the 1. Vaughn Williams, the tackle. Lukens is back in there. You can see the big number 72. Spencer now has carried 9 times for 44 yards. Second down, goal to go from the 1. As time expires in the first quarter of play. Ohio State leading 3-0 and on the verge of getting more. Crowd coming up, anticipating touchdown as Ohio State has the ball. Second down, goal to go at the Stanford 1. The opening play of the second quarter. It was a 26-yard run by Gale that set it up. Spencer goes in motion. They give it a Broadnax. The big fullback pounds it in there. Touchdown, Buckeyes. Ohio State goes up on top 9-0. 7 plays. They went 47 yards. Here's the extra point try by Spangler now. Tomczak holds it, and the kick is good. So the Buckeyes lead it 10-0. Stanford having a pass intercepted for 1 mistake. The indecision by Ken Williams coming out of the end zone was knocked out on the 11-yard line. So a couple of mistakes for the Cardinal, and Ohio State's got 10 points.
As we look at the touchdown, watch the offensive line surge forward and make it very easy for Broadnax to go right up the middle for the touchdown. That's right the heart of the Stanford defense. Good blocking, good running.
They used 2 minutes and 19 seconds for the touchdown march, and here are the numbers after the first quarter.
We can look at Ohio State, very impressive with their rushing game, 118 yards. Stanford, 66 yards passing, but the key point in the first quarter, the interception by Elway and failing to make the first down on 3rd and 1 set up both scores.
That punt by Edwards hit on about the 46 and bounced all the way back down to the inside the Stanford 23. So instead of Stanford having the ball up around its 45-50-yard line, if they had an extra man back there to catch it, they're sitting back at the 23. And you've got 51 seconds to play in the first half. Elway working out of the shotgun. He has time. Now he runs out of time. You've got to scramble some. He gets it off. And it is batted down and almost. Is it intercepted? It was. Yes, it was. It was deflected and intercepted by Ohio State. I think Foster intercepted that ball.
Well, Glenn Cobb is going to make a sensational play. The little linebacker who's had such a fantastic career. As the rush is on Elway, and he has to scramble, and he really throws the ball too low. He's got a man open. So watch 35. Boom. Cobb knocks it up in the air. The tip drill now. Everybody breaks for it. This is something you work on in practice. He catches it and throws it up in the air. And then let's see.
Jerome Foster.
Foster gets the ball.
How about that? Ohio State goes to the air. The pass is complete to Cedric Anderson. And he is double hammered as he makes the catch down inside the 15. At the 13. It's a first down for Ohio State. A ball at the Stanford 13. Timeout. Stanford defense being tested one more time. 35 seconds to play in the first half. Second interception of Elway in the ball game. Cobb tipped it. Foster caught it. Cobb tipped it actually twice.
That's right.
First down, Cardinal 13 for the Bucks. Tomczak back. As all day, throws it away. Threw it in the seats. He threw it right over the head of John Frank, his wide receiver. He looked at Williams in the left corner, well covered. And you see John Elway there. The play comes in now.
Well, that's the
Tomczak has come back across and then runs back into the huddle. So he's going to run about 600 yards today. Mike Tomczak, sophomore. On Calumet City, Illinois. Going to put it up. Goes for Frank. He's got it. He lost it. Well, John had a touchdown when he couldn't hold it. Had one thrown over his head, which would have been a touchdown as well. And now this one's right on the numbers, and he loses the fight for the ball. Covering for Stanford is Charles Hutchings.
Charles Hutchings, number 46, makes a great play. But let's see what you people think at home if he doesn't hold the ball long enough to be a completion. No, he never does have it. It's moving around all the time, and Hutchings, number 46, keeps stripping the way, and the ball finally pops out.
So it is third down. Ohio State at the Stanford 13. 23 seconds. They take it up the middle. Plays inside the 10 down to about the 7 with Tim Spencer, the tailback. And time call by Ohio State, stopping the clock with 16 seconds to play. And that's the last timeout for the Buckeyes.
Oh, boy.
Frank, I'm of the opinion that the Stanford defense has played pretty well. They have not had a whole lot of help as yet from the offense. National League Baseball scores, Phillies and Mets even at 1 in the third. And the Padres leading the Braves 2-1 in the second. Braves winning last night. Dodgers losing to the Giants. The Braves and Giants are right there, 2 games and 3 games back. But to go back to the Stanford defense, I think they played pretty well.
I do too, Keith. I would guess that the Stanford coaches would feel that they could expect that this kind of play out of the defense, they'd be leading at halftime. But the offense has turned the ball over, mishandled the punt, few things like this has given Ohio State the opportunity, and they capitalized on twice and look for the third right here.
It is not wet. We had a very light rain shower this morning, but this is a particularly good turf. It's artificial surface, and no one seems to be having any trouble handling the ball nor slipping. So even though it is a gray overcast day, it is not wet. Now here's your field goal try for Ohio State on 4th down. Rich Spangler has hit one from 32, and this one is marked down at the 14. 24-yarder is up, and it is good. So Ohio State has been able to exercise the opportunities presented them or manufactured for them by their defense. And with 13 seconds to play, they extend their lead to 13-0. So Spangler will kick off, and Ken Williams will go deep for Stanford. Each one of the kicks now by Spangler has been deep into the end zone. This one is not at the 3. Williams trying to get out of the crowd, circled back a little bit, and got caught at the 15. But he did bring it back 18 yards before he turned back, and they'll put him down at the 16. And Duke getting out on top of Virginia 6-0 in the first quarter of play as the teams begin their afternoon activity in the ACC and look at Michigan. They're doing a tap dance on UCLA in the first half, 21-0. Kansas and Kentucky underway. And Tubby Raymond's Blue Hens of Delaware getting out to a lead. First down, Cardinal at the 16. Elway deep. Ohio State's playing center field now on defense. He's got nobody to throw it to. Finally loops it downfield, and it is incomplete. 2 Ohio State men touched it, but the pass falls away incomplete, and time has expired in the first half of play, with Ohio State leading Stanford by a score of 13-0. Now here's Tim Brandt with Earl Bruce.
Coach, they say if you intercept the great passers 3 times, you can win the football game. You've done it twice with Merrick and Foster.
Yes, but we've given up some mistakes, but we've got to play just as intense the next half as we played this half. He's a great football player, and he'll come back. We've got to be ready for him.
Looks like the trenches has been the key. The defense held Stanford to 37 yards, rushing the offense is just blowing them out.
I hope so.
Good luck, Coach. Back up to you, Keith.
Loquacious, isn't he?
I'm standing here with Stanford head coach Paul Wiggin. And, Coach, you moved the ball well in the first half, but couldn't get into the end zone.
Yeah, but we're out of rhythm. Really, we're not moving the ball the way we move it so well. So much of what we do is the attack approach with the pass, and really we're not doing it with the rhythm that we need to do it with. We hope to change that a little bit by bringing the ball inside, throwing it in the middle a little more, and some of those things. But right now, our protection hasn't been what we really would like it to be thus far, and we're just hope that some changes can be made this half. It'll be a little better.
What adjustments did you make at halftime to free up the running game?
Well, we have to do a better job defensively. We can't let them have the sustained drives that they've had. We have to hold the clock, the scoreboard where it is right now from their standpoint. Then offensively, we have to go to a 5-step rhythm game where we don't take a lot of time back there, but take what we have.
Okay, Coach, thank you.
Okay.
Back upstairs to you, Keith.
All right, Tim, here we go with the second half of play with number 20, Kelvin Lindsay, and number 26, Jimmy Gale, the deep people for Ohio State. And Mark Harmon will kick it off. Ohio State leading by a score of 13-0. Harmon's kick. A yard deep in the end zone to Gale. Boom. Still going. May go all the way. Nope. Runs out of speed. He took a wallop back around the 15-yard line and just ran right through it. And Ohio State has the ball, first down.
What a sensational effort by Jimmy Gale, number 26. Watch this, fan. He's going to get hit. Any normal back would have gone down, but look at his balance. He kept his feet going, and all of a sudden he's back in an open field and came close to going all the way. Just a great effort by Jimmy Gale, who's a second-team tailback.
Kevin Baird finally ran him down, and it's first down Ohio State at the 43 of Stanford. Good field position for the Bucks. Hamzak, the quarterback, Broadnax, the fullback. And a fumble, who's got it? Stanford's got the ball, never got the snap up. So they come in with the fumble off the very first snap from the line of scrimmage to start the second half, and the Cardinal will come up with a break.
Watch the snap between the center and the quarterback. You can see that he doesn't get the ball cleanly. There should be zero deviation on a play like that. The ball is on the ground, and Stanford falls on it for their ball. What a change.
Matt Soderlund came up with it. Looked like Joe Lukens really knocked it out of his hand as he was turning around.
The pulling guard.
Yep. So it's Cardinal first down at the 42. So hello. Elway gives the ball to Vincent White. Cuts it back into the middle and gets it up to about the 45. Picked up about 3 yards, and here's the defensive unit for Ohio State. Jerome Foster, 6'3", 258, having a great game. Spencer Nelm, 6'3", 223. David Morrill, 6'3", 246. Linebackers Orlando Lowry, 228. Kurt Curtis, 6'2", 212, and Glenn Cobb, 6'3", 212, and Marcus Merrick, 6'2", 224. And White now is going to leave the ball game shaken up, but he's starting to jog now and will go off under his own power. So White has to leave the lineup for the moment. He has a broken nose from last week. I told him yesterday he had a little bit of a profile of Bob Hope there, but he wasn't going to mess with it. Said it wasn't hurting him, and he was going to play with it. Mike Dotterer is in the lineup, replacing White. Elway back to throw it. Throws it short. The pass is caught by Rob Moore out of the backfield, and he is close to a first down for Stanford. Around the Ohio State 47, Marcus Merrick the tackle. And he had to look a long time to find a man that time. The offensive unit for Stanford. Hooper comes back in at fullback now, and Moore will go out. The Ohio State secondary, Garcia Lane, 5'10", 174. Doyle Lewis, the other cornerback, at 6 feet, 184. Doug Hill, 6'1", 192. And Kelvin Bell, the free safety, 6'2", 190. He's a sophomore. Now they're out of the eye. On first down at the Buckeye 47. And the ball off to Dotterer. He fumbles. And they'll scratch around in there and unstack him. Let's see. Looks like the Cardinal may have kept it. They did. Mike Dotterer, who's a little banged up, not playing a whole lot today because he took some bumps out of last week's loss to San Jose. The ball is advanced down just inside the 46. Give him 2 yards. Second down at about 8. And we're told that Vincent White has leg cramps. So he'll be back. Second down and 8. Dotterer goes in motion. Elway almost falls down off the snap. Throws one over the middle. The pass is complete to Chris Dressel, the tight end. And he's been open quite a bit today. And that's the play that Paul Wiggin was talking about a while ago with Tim Brad. He said, we need the rhythm. We need the man down the middle.
Well, the reason for that is Dressel is big and fast, and he's working on the linebacker, Merrick, number 26. Merrick doesn't know where he is, and it's a different passing game inside than outside with the wide receivers being covered man for man with the cornerbacks.
It's another Stanford first down at the Ohio State 33. Just starting the third quarter with the Buckeyes leading 13-0. And the ball off to Hooper, the fullback, and Greggs inside the 30 to the 28. He picked up about 5. Halftime statistics look this way.
Well, Stanford gained a little bit in the second half, but what is really impressive is that Ohio State only rushed for 20 yards. They had 118 at the first quarter, 138 total. They still lead. 2 turnovers apiece at halftime, but the time of possession we talked about earlier is still a key factor in this ball game.
Second down and about 5 from the 28. Elway's got a little time. He's going deep. Pass is caught by Chris Dressel, the tight end. First and goal to go Stanford at the Ohio State 4. So Dressel, the tight end, makes 2 big catches in this possession.
You can see that, I believe it's Foster coming over from the left, and Elway throws it right to Drexel. He's being covered by Lowry, number 37, and then once again we have a physical mismatch. Lowry, number 37, watch him. He's a linebacker. A little bit of a mismatch. You can see him. He's trying to pick up Dressel, and he chases him. He's got him beat. He doesn't know where to go, and finally Dressel turns around. He's wide open, and the completion is there.
Made a pretty good catch, Chris did. White's back in the lineup now for Stanford. First and goal to go from the Ohio State 4. They're going to go to Vincent White on a sweep. And he gets it down around the 2. I'll make it the 1. So it'll be second down and goal at the 1 as Bert Curtis and Glenn Cobb ran him out of bounds. The Cardinal has not done terribly well when they have trailed at halftime over the last couple of years. But a lot of those games, they were trailing big at halftime. They come storming back, but missing many, many times by just a few points. Second down goal to go from the 1 for Stanford. Ohio State with an 8-man front up there. Give it to Dotterer. Dotterer, that's a penalty flag, and it may go against Stanford. Dotterer hits the corner, and I think I don't know if they're going to give him in or not. Let's see about the penalty first. They've got him just short of the goal line. They mark him a foot short.
I think what you're going to see, and I know Wiggins is upset. Paul Wiggins, because Ohio State moved. I haven't seen that on the goal line, and it could have been a call in the line with the linebacker saying now, if we have another shot of you, you'll see the lineman jumped inside and moved, and Stanford wasn't ready for it, and they charged offside. Now, with second down and 6, they've got to go back to the forward pass. Watch the men move inside. They're going to move inside, and you can see...
Illegal motion, right end, offense.
Now, the whole question is, if they moved without interfering with the quarterback signal, it's all right. But if they interfered, it's unsportsmanlike. Only the umpire knows that.
So it is second down, back at the 6 of Ohio State, second and goal. Elway's going to put it up. Loops it out there. Tolliver dropped it. Oh, my goodness. Mike had it. Couldn't find a handle. Doyle Lewis was out there with him.
Well, that's 2 passes. You can see that. Take notice of the rush, and Elway gets it away with 27 Hill all over him. He falls back and lays up a perfectly thrown pass. Tolliver has one step on number 4, Bell, and it's right in his hands over the shoulder catch. It would have been difficult, but he falls incomplete. Now it's third down and 6. Oh, my goodness.
If you go to the tight end, Dresser. Oh, Dresser's back blocking. Throws a hummer. No. Incomplete. Intended for Clymer. The tight end was the target, and Clymer couldn't pull it down. The pass was high, and Jim had to turn around trying to grab it going by. And so Stanford is turned away. They had it down, first and goal at the 4. It is now fourth down from the 6, and they'll go for the 3 points.
For the right hash mark, Keith, this is the 3rd time that Harmon has had to kick from the right hash mark and missed in the first 2.
Be a 23-yarder. He's missed from 25 and 32. Steve Cottrell will hold. Snap and hold is good. The kick is finally good. So Harmon roots one through there from 23 yards, and the Cardinal get on the board. 10:56 to go, third quarter, 13-3, Ohio State.
Hey.
Well, a play, and the only way you really defined on that shift by Ohio State as to whether or not there was a signal called or a shout. If there was interfering with the Stanford snap, then it would be illegal. But if there was no call or no defensive signal call there, as Harmon rolls it along the ground, and Lindsey's trying to pick it up on the 4, finally gets a handle on it, and he's taken down out around the 13. If they had called some kind of a signal, Frank, then you would have to say that it was against the rules. But the officials are standing right there, so it had to be pre-planned. And if it was pre-planned and worked that well, then you've got to say that somebody did a pretty good job of preparing for it. John Berggren is the defensive man, 6'5", 240. Harry Jackson, the nose guard, at 6'6", 250. Pat Mitchell, 6'5", 240, a tackle. Linebackers are Garen Varys outside at 6'6", 250. And Kevin Bates, the other outside man, 6'4", 225. Matt Soderlund, 6'2", 220. We'll go back to the ball game now as Ohio State's going to try to grind it out of there, moving it from the 13. The play goes up to around the 17. We'll show you the rest of them in a moment. The offensive unit for Ohio State. Tom Zach, Spencer Broadnax, with Gale getting in there as well at tailback, and the big guys up front. Same ones that started the ball game. Ball's at the 16. It'll be second down and 7. Cedric Anderson and Gary Williams are the wide people for Ohio State. And they give it off to the tailback, and Tim Spencer gets it up to about the 18, so they'll be looking at third down at about 5.5. Kevin Baird is a cornerback out of Inglewood, Colorado. Eric Price is a sophomore at the other corner. Charles Hutchings, a junior from Panola, California. Vaughn Williams made a lot of tackles at free safety in the first half for Stanford. 9:50 and the clock running at 13-3 ball game. Third down and about 5. Play a little slow to develop, and as a result, the Stanford corner people come up with Kevin Baird knocking Spencer out of bounds. So the Stanford defense is contained Ohio State here.
Once again, they've taken up on the second half like they did in the second quarter, limiting Ohio State to only 20 yards rushing. Good pursuit, good gang tackling, and Keith, one thing we'll notice is not any one man making the play. There's a group of Stanford players around every tackle.
Carl Edwards in now to punt. He's hit him with 39 and 62, and of that 62-yarder, about 25 of it was bounce and roll. Vincent White, a solo receiver for Stanford on the punt. On the long count, Edwards left foots it out of there, and it's not a particularly long kick. White comes up and makes the fair catch, first down for the Cardinal at their own 49. Only a 31-yard punt. Well, let's see if they can exercise this opportunity. Down Stanford at their own 49. Elway to throw. He goes to the short man, Vincent White. 2 red shirts out there. Now there's 5. And down he goes at the Ohio State 45. Spencer Nelms, Doug Hill, Glenn Cobb, Marcus Merrick, and company. By the time Vincent got turned around and started looking for someplace to run. Eddie Robinson at Grambling trying to win number 300 tonight against Florida A&M. It'll be fun. Wish him well. Great man. Second down, about 4. Trying to run it. No place for Vincent White to go, and down he goes. And right now it is third down, and they need about 6. Got back. Over the middle, White. He's close to a first down. Depends on where they mark him. If they mark him at the 41, he's going to have the first down. Marcus Merrick, inside linebacker, was there to make the tackle on Vincent White. So it all depends on the mark.
It's going to be very, very close.
I'm not sure he made it.
No, I tell you, it was a good play by the Ohio State defense because they pushed him back just a little bit, and he had the first down by about a foot at one time, but
does that hurt Merrick? Shaken up? Got a leg problem, looks like. Well, they can't bring the chains in to measure, really, because Mark is sitting injured right about where they need to put him down. White now has caught 9 passes in the ball game, 82 yards. What was that, Pittsburgh, Illinois?
Illinois is leading Pittsburgh 3-0 in the first quarter, Keith.
Look at this, Western Carolina over Clemson. My goodness. Maryland had lost 2 tough ball games. Merrick is coming off the field now for Ohio State, and Clark Backus, junior out of Maitland, Florida, has gone in to replace him. Now the chains are being brought in for the measure.
Keith, if it's not a first down, it's going to be a critical call, and I don't think there's any question.
It is not a first down.
He's going to have to go for it. Stanford's going to have to go for it. But it was an excellent play by the linebackers of Ohio State because White had the first down, and he was pushed back, and he started working his way back, and the official spotted just short of the first down. But this is a critical situation for Stanford, Keith, because they're not a running football team.
And how they spot the ball, the rule book says very clearly you spot the ball where the ball is. Here we go, 4th down and 6 inches.
Going to sneak it right over the right guard. Nope.
Elway keeps it. And it's a broken play, and John Elway turns it upfield and gets the first down. Fullback never got the ball.
No, I think Elway juggles the ball. Let's see if he doesn't juggle the ball. He doesn't get it quite cleanly, and then he turns around, and the fullback goes on the wrong side. 33 more goes on the wrong side. And Elway's presence of mind, it was just a botched up play, but the presence of mind of Elway, he jumps right outside because Ohio State was bunched up inside, makes the first down.
Crowd reacting here at Ohio Stadium to the score that Jim Lampley gave you a moment ago. It's now 21-14, Michigan over UCLA. The Bruins coming back in the game in Ann Arbor. First down for Stanford. The ball is near the Ohio State 37. Give it fake it to Hooper. Elway puts it up. Pass is complete to Vincent White. And he's very near the Ohio State 26. And that looks like another first down.
Vincent White, number 22, caught 11 passes in the first game, and he's caught 9 in the second game and 10 so far today. How about that for an afternoon?
Yeah, well, he's stepping into the shoes of
Darren Nelson.
Darren Nelson. All right, they've got the 6 backs in there now. Lamar Peachler, number 8, having gone on the field. First down for Stanford, just outside the Ohio State 26. Elway back to throw, dumps it off in a hurry, and the pass is incomplete. Rob Moore, the fullback, got one hand on it before he took the lick and couldn't hold on. And the strong safety, Doug Hill, was blitzing, forcing Elway to get rid of it in a hurry.
It's a great play by the defense, Hill. Knowing that he's got a big rush, he's got to quicken his coverage. He can't give a cushion, and you can see that he's right there. Moore kind of peeks a little bit, and Hill is coming right there and makes the play a fine defensive play.
Elway is now 18 out of 34 for 190 yards. No touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Second down 10. Roll it this time. He has more time, goes over the middle. Chris Dressel, the tight end, and he comes down with it. That was a heck of a catch by Chris. Good coverage by Ohio State. I don't know what else the Ohio State man could have done with him. Glenn Cobb.
Watch Glenn Cobb, number 35, captain of this football team last year and this year. But there's a little bit of a mismatch because Dressel is much taller. But look at the throw. It's right on the target, and Cobb went for it, got the receiver, but not the ball.
And it's another Stanford first down at the Ohio State 13. So they're trying to stick in the end zone. Haven't been able to do it yet. Pressure's on. Elway's pass. Had it in the air. Incomplete. Spencer Nelms bats it in the air. A sophomore from Decatur, Georgia. First quarter, Vanderbilt out over Alabama 7-0. Edward Taylor's a pretty good one down there.
It must have been the first series.
All you Vandy faithful, take heart.
Vanderbilt with Bill Pace upset Alabama many years ago for the only loss that Alabama had one year.
Second down and 10, Stanford, Ohio State 13.
Here comes the blitz, Pete.
Yep. Give it a White around the corner and out of bounds at about the 7.
I am sure that Elway changed the play when he
Yep.
saw the blitz. Everybody inside. He just used the audible and went to the outside and came close to scoring. White did. Made a nice run.
And one man to get past.
Well, once again, we see the difficulty that a passing team has in getting the ball across the goal line. That back of that end zone makes it very easy for the backs to cover the wide receivers.
John Elway has now called time. Frank, he wants to go to the sidelines and talk because they've got to figure out a way to get the ball in the end zone to stay in the game because they're trailing by 10 at 6:33 of the third quarter. Ohio State apparently is convinced that Stanford will put the ball in the air because they've got on the field 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 defensive backs. Third down from the 7. They need 3 for a first down, 7 for the touchdown. Elway rolling it, has some time. He throws it. It's incomplete, intended for Moore, the fullback out of the backfield. He really didn't have a shot at catching the ball. Kelvin Bell was with him. It is 4th down. And they're going to kick. In the second half, the total yards, Stanford has rolled up 101 yards. Ohio State only 7. But Stanford can't put the ball in the end zone. Mark Harmon will be kicking again from the right hash mark. He's missed 2 from there and made 1. This one is 24 yards. Quarterback Steve Cottrell will hold it, and he'll hold it down at the 14. Everything's good to there, and the kick is good. So with 6 minutes and 26 seconds to play in the third quarter, it is now a 13-6 ball game. The last time that Stanford was shut out in the first half was in 1979 when they played USC.
Once again, Steve is going to rest on the Stanford defense shoulders to stop Ohio State and get the ball back. The field position in this half for Stanford has been 54 yards away on the 2 possessions. In the first half, it was 76 yards.
Harmon hits a knuckleball, bouncing around, picked up by Kelvin Lindsay at about the 10. And he keeps on pounding out to the 30. George Welch getting a rough start in his coaching career down at Virginia. As Duke's out on top by 13 or 17 at halftime. And USC Oklahoma playing in Norman. Trojans the early lead, and UCLA now down by 10 to Michigan at halftime. All right, here we go, Ohio State. Quarterback Tomczak keeps it, turns the corner, gets up to about the 35. Picked up by 5-yard off, mark him back a little bit. They put him inside the 35, give him 4.
Keith, that's the first option play they've run since the first quarter, and they had some success with it. They've been running straight up the middle on first down, and Stanford has been successful stopping them. They went outside and picked up close to 5 yards.
Second down, just short of the 35. Tomczak back to throw it on second down. Goes over the middle. It's picked off. Intercepted by Vaughn Williams. And here's Stanford again with opportunity. They have the football at the Ohio State 37, and he threw it right to the Stanford defensive back, Williams.
Well, it's a tough call for the Ohio State coaches to go for a post route against a 3-deep defense. Williams is a great football player, all Pac-10. Watch, all he's going to do is just play center field, and he throws it right to him. It's not a good call against a 3-deep defense, and Williams, number 45, is just an outstanding football player. He protects that ball. Watch him. He gets on the ground.
All right, call it the 36. It's closer to the Ohio State 36. A 13-6 ball game. The Buckeyes leading by 7. Elway to White. And he pops out of there and goes on down the sidelines before Kelvin Bell knocked him out of bounds. Bell misses him at see you later. He ran right into the crowd, and a little stumpy, square guy like he is, 5'8", 190, he just squirted out of there.
Now we look at the comparison of the fumbles and interceptions. Stanford had the first 2, but Ohio State has turned the ball over 4 times in the second and third quarters.
White now is up to 41 yards on 10 carries in the running department, and it's first down Stanford. The ball is just short of the Ohio State 23. Blitz, they pick it off pretty well. The pass to the sidelines. Mike Dotterer, he's got some room. He's down to the 5-yard line before Bell brings him down. It's first and goal to go Stanford. But wait a minute, there's a penalty flag on the ground back up around the 25.
Keith, what happened is a screen pass, and Elway is going to throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage, which means the defensive lineman can go down, offensive lineman can go downfield. But when he now changes his mind and throws the ball downfield, you have offensive lineman downfield. You can see him down there ahead of the receiver, and it's just an unfortunate play, but a great play by Ohio State defense covering the screen and forcing that type of innovative play.
So that'll back the Cardinal up 5. Oh, backs him up more than that. Backs him up 15.
Well, he called something else. There's a lineman downfield.
Might have been a clip, too.
We have clipping on the offense. Still first down.
I saw Marcus Merrick get up hobbling around, and apparently he was the man clipped. So it's a nail. That's what that is. All the way back to the 40.
Now Elway needs to attack this defense in 3 plays, not go for the big play unless it's there.
1st and 25. Back at the 40. That's a little more than that. 27. Ken Williams, the man in motion, out of the shotgun. Elway scrambling around, gets it off. Vincent White's got it. He's down at the 20. And he's hit down by Doyle Lewis. I'll tell you one thing about Lewis. When he hits you, boy, you go down, doesn't he?
He's an excellent defensive football player, but how can you say enough about Vincent White and how he has the presence of mind to break into the open area when Elway starts scrambling? That was a sensational play on his part to get open.
11 catches for 113 yards, and he's left the ball game now. He's kind of pooped, looks like. He got to take a breather. And Williams comes back in. So now they have blazing speed. They have Williams, they have Harry, and they have Tolliver. Dotterer's in the backfield, and they line up Williams in the backfield. On 2nd down and about 17. Elway rolls it out, gets his pass off, incomplete. Ricocheted off the chest of Ken Williams. So the young freshman from San Jose trying to handle that bullet from Elway. And John had to throw it because he was getting the pressure.
Give credit to the Ohio defense as we look at Elway, 20 for 38, 222 and 2 interceptions. The defense are doing a great job covering the wide receivers. Those cornerbacks, Lewis and Lane, are just outstanding, jumping on those wide receivers and staying with them.
5 passes have been dropped.
And 1 for a touchdown.
Yep. 3rd down, still about 17. White's not in there. He's got the tight end Dressel wide open. He hits him down the middle, but Chris falls down at the 11-yard line, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now, is that enough for a first? Probably is. It is a first down. If he had fallen backwards, he wouldn't have had it. But he was able to get down parallel and just got it.
Once again, we see the mismatch, the physical mismatch, the tight end on linebacker Lowry. And when Dressel went inside, Lowry took the fake and came back outside. He was open. Great play.
That might have been a big play, too. Call it the 12. And it's a first down by just that much for the Cardinals. So Elway brings it back in 3 plays after the 15-yard penalty. Swings it out to Mike Dotterer. Dotterer is gone. Touchdown. So Stanford finally sticks it in the end zone from 12 yards as Dotterer swings it out and streaks it in.
3 years ago, the colleges put in a rule that you could block downfield if the pass is thrown behind the line of scrimmage. And this is what happened. Look at the blocking of the lineman and everybody clearing the path for Dotterer as he goes in for the touchdown.
Now Harmon is in for the extra point to tie the game. He got it. Well, he really hooks that thing, though, doesn't he? So with 3.5 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter, we're all even in Columbus, 13-13. The word on the injury to Harry. Emil Harry has a sprained left ankle. The medical report is that he may not come back, but then on the other hand, he might. So we'll just see what the next few minutes means to it. Right now, the Stanford defense has got to play the Ohio State offense. The Buckeyes, in a tie ball game, will give it to the tailback Spencer. Spencer is from the 29 to near the 32.
Stanford has turned the tables on Ohio State yardage on first down. Ohio State has only made 4.9 yards on first down, and Stanford a whopping 8.7. Here again, Tom Sack, the quarterback, runs all the way over the line of scrimmage, gets the play from Earl Bruce, and then sprints back to the huddle.
You know, Tim Spencer's gimpy. He's come off the field now, and I was watching him a while ago. He's not sound. He's either got a sprained ankle or a sore knee. Something sore about the right leg. He's not that big old, strong, solid back. They throw the pass out here, setting up a screen for Williams. He loops it downfield. He's got Anderson wide open. Anderson is loose, and he is caught from behind. Finally at the 5-yard line. They throw it out to Gary Williams, and Gary Williams throws it to Cedric Anderson, and how do you do?
Keep it.
You think it's 2 forward passes?
Let's see if it's a lateral or forward pass. Boy, that is close. That's a forward pass.
That's a forward pass.
2 forward passes. That is.
Oh, boy. Kevin Baird finally caught him. First down and goal, Ohio State. They don't see it from the same angle we see it. Tomzak sets him up and gives the ball to Brodnax. And Brodnax is down near the 2. Rod Gilmore hits him. Yes, we'll play you that. We'll play it back in a minute here.
Here's Tomzak, who is the quarterback. Never seen this done before. Runs over and gets his play from Earl Bruce. Sprints back to the huddle.
Ball is at the 2. Second down and goal to go for Ohio State. Ray Myers, an extra fullback, is in the lineup, and he's out wide to the right. Comes back in motion for blocking. And they give it off. And it's a touchdown, Spencer. And Ohio State is back on top. Just hang on. We'll show you that play again in a minute. We'll take a look at the touchdown. It's a pretty simple execution. They just bumped it in the end zone. As they put the extra fullback Myers in there, and he led the blocking, and Brodnax, Spencer rather, muzzled it in. Here's your important extra point try. 1913. This is a big one. Tomzak will hold it. The snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is good. So all of the elements work together on that one. And it's now 20 for Ohio State and 13 for Stanford. Here's the touchdown.
The left side of the line do an excellent job of controlling the Stanford defense. You see a good hole there as Spencer cuts right back inside and just keeps his feet going. Keep those feet going. Tim Spencer, all Big Ten tailback last season, makes the score.
Now, what about the play that set it up, though, where you felt there were 2 forward passes?
Well, as we look at the replay, watch Tomzak. See what yard line he throws the ball. He's the quarterback, number 15. He's going to drop back and throw quickly out to the side. To me,
there's one.
He is throwing the ball from back of the first line, the 30,
The 29.
Between the 29 and 30-yard line. That's where his feet are. Now let's see if the ball goes forward to Williams, the receiver. All right, the ball looks like it's parallel, but watch where the receiver catches the ball, Williams.
That's awfully close.
It's very close. It is. The left foot of Gary Williams is over the left foot of the 29-yard line. That's very close. I'd hate to have to call that one.
And the kickoff by Spangler. Williams way back will put it down. Stanford will have the ball. First down at the 20.
One more time. Let's look at the play. Remember that you cannot have 2 forward passes on the same play. This pass has to be a lateral, parallel or backward. Parallel means a lateral, and you can then throw a forward pass. There is Tomzak on about the 29-yard line, a little bit deeper than the 29.
You're talking about a fraction, though, here, aren't you, Fred?
Yes, just a fraction. Now, that's very, very close.
Well, the touchdown stands 20-13. And Stanford now with the ball. First down at the 20. And Harry is in the ball game. Emil Harry is back. They swing it out to Dotterer, screening him up the sidelines. And he makes it work for about 7 yards before Glenn Cobb rolls him out of bounds.
Keith, on that last play, the hedge linemen the headlinesman checked with the referee back here on about the 50-yard line to be sure they both agreed it was a legal play. They were cognizant of the fact that it could have been an illegal play if it had been 2 forward passes. Scoring drive, 4 plays, 70 yards, a trick play, setting it up.
Dutterer hit the sideline at 24-yard line, so it's 2nd down and 6. They are without Vincent White, bruised shoulder. Elway fires a bullet. Merrick going for it. And the pass is incomplete. Down and 6. Tolliver's been quiet today. Drop 2. Elway takes a look at him, goes over the middle instead, trying for his tight end. They're going to give it to him?
Yes.
Whoa. Hello. I don't know. I didn't see him catch it. That was to me. I couldn't see whether or not the Ohio State people are shouting about it. Let's look at it. It's Dressel, the tight end.
Once again, Dressel is going to fake outside, and he's going to turn back on Tatum, number 32, who is a defensive back in the ball game. The ball is thrown very low. Let's see if we can tell. He cradled it in. Good,
yeah. Well, now the ball's loose.
Uh-oh, it did come loose.
Ah! I don't know about that one. First down for Stanford. Well, maybe the breaks even out. Dotterer carries the ball and swings it from the 35 up to close to the 39 for 4 yards. Glenn Cobb on the tackle. We're getting so many calls this year that are so fractional.
When you do a Stanford football game, just hold on to your hat. Anything can happen, and usually does.
Elway now has passed 300 yards. He's got 308. 29 out of 51. He's got Harry back in the lineup with a sprained ankle, but White is not there. Takes it off to the back, goes over the middle to Dotterer, and Mike's got it. First down, Stanford at the Ohio State 42.
A little new wrinkle for Elway. He fakes the draw. By draw, we mean fake pass and run. Watch him fake to the, I guess that was Rob Moore going right up the middle. He has plenty of time, and he floats the ball. He takes something off of it. He didn't line drive it. Right in the Dotterer, number 24. He cradles it in and falls to the turf.
A 20-13 lead, Ohio State, with 6 minutes and 55 seconds to play in the game, and Stanford moving it again. Well, they've had every opportunity in the world to be leading in this ball game. Ohio State defense played them off in the first half. Elway's going to run it up the middle. And he gets it to the 35 for about 7 yards. Alabama now stretching it out against Vanderbilt. That early touchdown by the Commodores woke up the tide. Florida's gone ahead of Mississippi State in Gainesville. It's been a long time since the Maroon won a ball game down at Gainesville. There's the score that Jim Lampley had for you a few minutes ago. Duke in a romp now against Virginia.
The Duke Blue Devils are hot this year. This will be their 3rd win in a row, I believe.
Yep. And Bennett having a big year. 2nd down. Ball is marked at the 36. And Dotterer has it. Cuts it back into a crowd. He doesn't get a whole lot out of it. Maybe 3. Again, depends on where they give his forward progress. Well, he's going to need about a yard on 3rd down. Chris Ream up to make the tackle, along with Kirk Loudermilk for Ohio State. That's what he needs right there. Auburn leading Tennessee 6-0. Auburn with 8 home games this year. 8. Clemson finally getting out in front of West Carolina in the second half.
3rd and 1 is normally running down for most teams, but I'm not sure it is for Stanford. Remember, they were stopped early in the ball game. A critical situation in the first quarter.
It's a long one. Well, they're going to run it. Mike Dotterer, and he's got it. He's got the ball on the 30 as Merrick brings him down. You know what? I get the feeling here in this second half that the Ohio State defensive front is perhaps growing tired because of the resolution of the Stanford offensive line. They have not penetrated that much.
You're exactly right, and they're trying to substitute some of these linemen. Keith, rushing the passer wears you down more than anything else. You need two defensive lines to really be effective in it for 60 minutes.
First down, Stanford at the Ohio State 30. Jerome Foster. Elway sets it up, gets it off. It's going to be picked off. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Two Ohio State men, Doug Hill and Garcia Lane.
Keith, that's a little bit inexperienced on the defensive back, Don Capers, who's done a great job coaching this secondary. What you do in this situation is one back says, I've got it, I've got it. He knows he's in position for the interception, and he should wave the other ones off. But obviously Lane and Hill just go fighting for the ball, and they deflect it, and Stanford is very, very lucky. Watch this right here. Two Ohio State players wide open, not a receiver anywhere. They're fighting each other. Incomplete.
Sean Avant now is in the ball game. Backfield for Stanford, number 28, a sophomore out of Ontario, California. Elway back to throw. Got some pressure here. Now he gets away. Look out. He throws it back the other way. He's got a man over there. Dressel. They knock it around and knock it loose. He couldn't get enough on the ball. He had to throw it all the way back across the field after running for his life. And they can't make it work.
Here's the difference between Elway and every other quarterback I've seen in college that was a great passer. Watch what he does. There's no way he can get out of that, but he does, and comes close to throwing a touchdown pass. He had one of the receivers over the right boundary open, but he wants to go for the touchdown. He doesn't get enough velocity on it. You can see the two receivers over there, and then the defense moves over and makes the play. And there again, it could have been intercepted as it goes right up in the air. Third down.
And 10. Third and 10. And they put in now the sixth back as Foster comes out. They might even have 7 in there. They could do. Penalty flag. Elway's pass. Incomplete. Intended for Dressel. He was getting some pressure, despite the fact Foster had come out. Illegal procedure. Stanford.
Now Stanford's got to go. Ohio State will refuse the penalty, and Stanford's got to go on fourth down. They had some fresh men in there. Now Foster's back in to really put some pressure on. They're going for the field goal, Steve.
4 minutes and 21 seconds to play in the football game. Ohio State 20 and Stanford 13.
Illegal motion. Offense refused. Fourth down.
This will be a 47-yard field goal.
Well, if he can get the field goal and make it a 20-16 ball game, then get his touchdown. Then he wouldn't have to worry about going for 2. From the left hash mark. He's got it up. Got enough leg, and he hit it. He drilled it. So with 4 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the football game, the score is now Ohio State 20 and Stanford 16. Hang on. It ain't over. All right, the Cardinal will kick it off. And the Buckeyes have Jimmy Gale and Kelvin Lindsey deep to return it. 4 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the ball game. See now if the Buckeye defense grind some time off that offense can grind some time off that clock. Harmon keeps it down on the ground. Gale picks it up cleanly and picks his way back to about the 19. So the heat's on the Ohio State offense and the Stanford defense, and UCLA has taken the lead over Michigan 28-27 after being down 21-0. And there are the baseball scores. Cardinals jumping out, and the Mets having beaten the Phillies, so the Redbirds could pick up a full game. That would make it very, very difficult. Meantime, the Braves are leading the Padres by 2, and tomorrow we'll have Milwaukee, Baltimore in the American League East, and the Cubs and Cardinals in the National League East. From the 19, first down for the Buckeyes. Anderson goes in motion. Tomczak keeps it, turns it upfield, and moves out around the 24. Pat Mitchell made the tackle for Stanford. He is a junior from Carmel, Indiana.
Keith, that first down call was a gutty one. Run the option play in this situation means that you want to make a first down regardless, because you know Stanford has a great chance to score if you don't.
I think young Tomczak has played very well, Frank.
He played very well for a sophomore. Showed a lot of poise.
Second down, 6. Keeps it again. And he's up around the 29 and close to a first down before Gary Wimmer can bring him down.
I'll tell you what, in the first through the third quarter, you had your hands calling timeout.
There's John Elway's numbers. 30 out of 54, 328, and you would remember that Ohio State only allowed 83 yards average in the first 2 ball games at passing.
Chains out. Looks like a first down by that much or not that much. It is. Just enough. Tomczak to the sidelines, getting the call from his coach Earl Bruce. Gale is in at tailback. Spencer is out. Trying to keep fresh people at that important position in the Ohio State offense.
Come on, make him turn it over.
Keith, that's a valid point, because a fresh man is not likely to fumble on someone who's tired.
Split him. Rodnack's the big fullback. Gale, the tailback. Gale's got it. Caught behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big play by Garen Veris for Stanford. He drops him back on the 24. So it'll be second down and 16.
This is another option. No, it's a sweep play. I'm sorry. And Veris is the big 6'6", 250-pound end linebacker, just jumps right through, and he wraps up Gale and makes the play.
And time is called. 2 minutes and 46 seconds to play in the football game, and the Buckeyes lead by 4. Two minutes and 46 seconds remaining to play in the football game. Second down. And they mark him down at the 25 instead of the 24. So it's right at 15 yards. Anderson turns upfield. Tomczak going to put it in the air. Goes over the middle, and it is intercepted. Baird's got it off the tip. And he's out of bounds at the Ohio State 24.
There's a penalty
Flag thrown back upfield at the 33. It was intended for Anderson. It was tipped by one of the Stanford men, and Baird came along to pick it off. I told you it wasn't over. 2:35 to play in the game. See what Glenn Fortin says. It is clipping. It's against Stanford.
Stanford gets to keep the ball. The penalty occurred after the interception.
So Tomczak tries to go over the middle, and he had his man, Frank.
Boy, it's a gutty call by Earl Bruce with this situation, throwing the ball deep in the middle. Let's see what happens.
He tips it.
Anderson had it. He could have caught the ball. Look at the tip drill. Oh, that's beautiful. The tip drill meaning that once one man touches, everybody sprints.
We have clipping on the run back after the interception. First down, White.
And 10. Keep that in mind. It's first down and 10. And the ball is put down at the Ohio State 48. So the Buckeye defense has played nobly all day. Got to be a little weary. Got to suck it up one more time. Shotgun Elway. Intercepted. It's picked off by Roland Tatum. And Tatum is down to the Stanford 25, and that wakes up the Ohio Stadium. The third interception of the day on Elway.
The 7 defensive backs play on. 32 Tatum is right on the line of scrimmage. How he held this bullet. He's right up, and Elway never saw him, and he jumps pulls it down. Number 32. What a sensational play, and at a very, very important time in the ball game. And then he makes a nice run out of it.
He certainly does. I thought Ohio State turned it around and changed directions very well. They had blockers down in front of him. And now, with 2 minutes and 23 seconds on the clock, they are sitting, as Red Barber used to say, in the catbird seat. There is an Ohio State man down on the field. It is Glenn Cobb, linebacker, and I always hate to see him looking at a knee. Well, Mr. Tatum is going to have something to remember. He went looking for that football, too. Boy, he wanted that thing in his trophy case. I don't blame him. If Ohio State can pick up 1 first down, they should be able to run out the clock.
Takes about 2 minutes to run off the clock. 3 running plays if you don't get out of bounds, and opponents do not call timeout.
Stanford only has 1 left. Ohio State with 3 timeouts left, and Stanford only 1. So they can kill the clock only 1 time. Give it to Spencer. Spencer hit behind the line of scrimmage by Terry Jackson and brought down at the 27.
When you need a big play, you look for someone who has tremendous speed. And Jackson, number 67, just uses his hands, pushes the center to the side, comes in and makes the tackle for a loss. Stanford needs a big play, and Jackson came through.
And the clock now shows 2 minutes to play in the game. Sun comes out nice and bright for the first time today. Ball is at the Stanford 27.
Hey, the sunshine boy.
Tomczak's going to throw. No, he's not. Yes, he is. He's got a man. He's got Williams. Intercepted in the end zone. Intercepted in the end zone by Charles Hutchings. That is the 4th interception of Tomczak today. He had Williams wide open. If he just loops the ball over the defensive man's head, he's got a touchdown.
Well, I think they probably told Tomczak, roll out. If you got the man open, fine. If you don't, run it. But then he sees the receiver in behind everybody open. He gets a little careless and puts it up with a little bit too much height on it. And obviously, that's a great play. Who's that? Williams, number 45. No, 48, Baird, and then Hutchinson interception. Well, the game's not over, Keith, by a long shot. Let's watch it again. Look at Baird, number 48. What a tremendous effort to keep Williams from catching the touchdown pass, and then very much a presence of mind, Hutchinson intercepts it.
Out of the shotgun, Elway has to jump up for the snap, gets his pass off. It is good to Mike Dotterer, and Dotterer is knocked down up on the 33. Good for a first down. And that stops your clock to move the chains with 1 minute and 31 to play in the ball game. Ohio State leading 20-16.
Now Ohio State will play deep, concede the short pass, and hope they can keep the ball in bounds and not let the receiver get out of bounds.
Buckeyes! Man, get him! Get
No
him!
pressure. Double teaming Foster. Over the middle it goes. The pass is good to Mike Tolliver. And Tolliver's got another Stanford first down up around the 48. And again, the clock stops to move the chains at 1 minute 18. Stanford's got only 1 timeout remaining. So they've got to be up on the ball, ready to snap it when the chain is put down.
First down, Stanford.
Elway throws to the sidelines. He drills Emil Harry with it. Hits him right on the numbers, but it was thrown so hard, he can't come up with it. Prudential College scoreboard coming up right after the ball game. Oh, he throws that thing hard sometimes.
Yes, he does. And when the ball wobbles, I made that point earlier, if it's a tight spiral, it's easily caught. If the ball's wobbling a little bit, that's when you get the dislocated fingers, and that one was wobbling.
Begin.
Second down and 10 from the 48. 1 minute and 8 seconds to play in the game. They're trying to loop and get some pressure. It goes over the middle, intended for Chris Gressel, and it is incomplete.
Give credit to the Ohio defense. They put enough pressure on Elway that he had no time to wait and really choose his receiver and step forward and put some velocity on the ball.
Our state defense has played very, very well.
The only trouble they've been in was placed there by the Ohio State offense. I think the defense really deserves great praise so far in this ball game.
Third down and 10. Deep drop by Elway. He's got Tolliver over the middle. He's got Harry over the middle. And Harry is down inside the 20 to the 18. 52 seconds. They got to spend. Well, they may not spend the timeout here. They get the clock stopped at 52 seconds on movement of the chain. First down Stanford, just inside the Ohio State 18.
You see how wide open Harry was on the plate in the deep middle.
But Tolliver was open downfield further.
You can see if we look back at the two plays where Tomczyk rolled out the pass and had it intercepted when really the game was won. Virtually won at least.
52 seconds, 20 to 16, Ohio State. Stanford first down inside the Buckeye 18. Elway looking down the middle, goes short to Dotterer, out of bounds, right about the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard. They'll give him the 18. That's just about where the ball was. Marcus Merrick made the defensive play for Ohio State.
Now,
ball game this has been.
Oh, it's been a great ball game. And as Paul Wiggin looks on, trying to decide what's going to be open. It's a guessing game. What is Ohio State going to do? They're going to rush, and then you've got to be ready to throw the ball quickly and inside. If they're going to defend, then you have plenty of time to get your two receivers in one zone.
Dennis Engel is shaken up. The big senior out of Santa Clara.
Is it a TV timeout?
Is going off the field for the Stanford Cardinal.
Once again, we ought to mention that the success that Stanford has had in the second half, I think, is due in a large part to the fact that Ohio State's defensive linemen got tired, Keith. They just couldn't rush.
I think
they
so.
couldn't apply the pressure. In this fourth quarter, they have been substituting, trying to keep fresh people in the line.
Well, Jerome Foster was almost superhuman in the first half.
He could have played 60 minutes like that. He would have been all-time All-American. Well, it comes right down the wire again, and that's what we predicted. Harris lined up at tight end.
Elway want to get some heat. Now he's got some time. He goes over the middle and in the corner. Emil Harry, touchdown, Stanford.
No penalties. No penalties.
No flag. Can you believe it? The crowd of more than 89,000 at Ohio Stadium, their 84th consecutive sellout, is in a state of shock, and I don't blame them. But that's the way it goes with the aerial circus. And Elway came all the way back across the field, threw the ball about 40 yards, maybe 45, into the hands of Emil Harry. And Stanford leads 22-20 with 34 seconds to play in the game. The kick by Mark Harmon is good. 23-20 Stanford with just 34 seconds to play.
Keith, this is, I think, what we have seen today. Everybody's watched this ball game. Tremendous coaching by that man right there, Paul Wiggin. But here, ladies and gentlemen, is what makes Elway the greatest college quarterback that I have ever seen play. He has poise. He has the presence of mind knowing that the clock is running out. He can't throw it short. Look at him dance around until finally someone gets open, and look at the velocity. From no movement of his body or his feet, he throws the ball all the way across, and there is Emil Harry back in the ball game for the touchdown.
Career high for John Elway today. 35 completions and 63 attempts for 411 yards.
Watch the presence of mind of this John Elway and the blocking of that offensive line. They're picking up the men. He sees Harry open all the way. Look how wide open. Would you say there's a busted defense there? Wow. Let's see what really happened. I told you before the play that Emil Harry was lined up at tight end, which, I see. Now he's got 36. Merrick covered him, and Merrick doesn't know what to do. He runs all the way across the field, and look at Harry wide open for the touchdown.
The kickoff skittering along the ground. It is picked up by Jimmy Gale. And Jim is out across the 25 to the 27. And the clock shows 29 seconds. John Elway is obviously your most valuable player for the Stanford Cardinal. The man getting the vote from us for the most valuable player for Ohio State is the giant of a man, and the defensive front, Jerome Foster. Foster 4 solos, 1 assist, 5 tackles, but those numbers don't tell you anything about the presence of the man because it took 2 Stanford people to block him, and sometimes 3.
I was going to say 3 sometimes.
So the Buckeyes are moving before the snap. It's a penalty against Ohio State. Ball is caught by John Frank, the tight end, and he moves it over to the Stanford 46. But remember the flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Ohio State will be penalized 5 years. Look at these numbers. 35 out of 63. 411 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. That last drive was as pretty as I've ever seen. 7 plays, 80 yards, only used 1 minute and 4 seconds to go 80 yards against the fine Ohio State defensive team, Keith. How do you beat it?
You can't. Well, you can, because they made a lot of mistakes along the way. I mean, that kind of a performance could have been thwarted by one more mistake. The penalty being assessed now against the Buckeyes for illegal procedure. There's the scoring drive, and we hear the call now from referee Fortin.
Illegal motion, offense, still first down.
The ball is moved back to the 22. Ohio State and Stanford each receiving $1,000 from Chevrolet in the names of John Elway and Jerome Foster for their general scholarship funds. 22 seconds. Stanford 23, Ohio State 20. Well, I'll tell you, this is a big win for Paul Wiggins, isn't it? A big win.
Yes. And what a great young man he is.
Tomczak to put it up. It is right smack dab off the chest of Rod Gilmore. Hit him right in the numbers. Bounced away from it. Pass intended for John Frank, the tight end. After Tatum's interception, looked like the Buckeyes had it nailed down, didn't it?
Yes, it did. First down on the 22.
Tomczak to throw it. He has to go short with it. Goes to Tim Spencer, who goes out of bounds up at the 31. He will have a first down. No, he won't have a first down. You have 8 seconds to play. And you're just about at the last gasp of this football game.
There's a happy man. Paul Wiggins. 23 years he played and coached in pro football, back in college, and he's a great asset to the college game.
The Buckeyes spend a timeout. When they got possession of the ball, they had 3 left, so they've got 1 more they can spend. And we've got only 8 seconds to play. 8 seconds to play. Just 8. What a terrific college football game this has been. Up and down the field. Totally different philosophies. Great defense, great individual efforts over the middle. It goes, and it is knocked down, incomplete. And the clock shows 1 tick remaining. Vaughn Williams was up, looking up into what is now a bright sun, and could not come down with it.
Either want to go back and give Kevin Baird, number 48, senior halfback, credit for that interception that set up the touchdown. It was a great effort to prevent the touchdown because Tomczak had the ball close to being right on target. Just a great individual effort and gave Stanford another chance, and they capitalized.
1 second to play. Who knows? The way this thing's going today, anything can still happen. Stanford will have 5 backs playing center field.
He probably won all the way back just in case it was deflected and somebody caught it behind the first secondary mid.
The executive producer of ABC Sports, Roone Arledge. Coverage of today's game produced by Chuck Howard, directed by Andy Sedaris, technical director John Allen, associate director Ned Simon, technical manager Bob Armbruster, our unit manager Steve Israel, assistant to the producer Jay Moses. Here's your last play of the ball game. Stanford people are 40 yards deep. Tomczak throws it as far as he can. And it's batted away, incomplete. The ball game is over. In the series, Stanford goes up 3 games to 2. Final score today, Ohio State and Stanford, the Cardinals prevailing over the Buckeyes 23-20. John Elway coming across the field as the two teams mingle, shaking hands. It was a noble battle.